Mr. John Howard fielded an emotional talkback radio call from the mother of one young soldier. Cheryl Waters wanted to remind the PM and the rest of the country that the men and women going to Timor are much more than just anonymous faces in a crowd. They're somebody's son or daughter, brother or sister. Well, over the past week, a current affairs reporter in Dili, Scott Bevan, has been getting to know some of the peacekeepers a little better.
You see this in Bosnia and all, and it's all like our generation is quite desensitised to all this, and when you actually see it first time up, you think to yourself, it's dreadful.
For years, Corporal Dale Guff McGuffin has been training for peril. Right now, he's in the midst of it.
My assault crew's over there behind that wall, and the gun crew's just over the other side of the wall there, so you've got a bit of protection.
Guff is a section leader, and when we meet him, he and the 7 men under his command from 3 RAR in Sydney are having to guard an intersection in Dili. At 31, Guff is one of the oldest in his section.
As far as infantry section command is concerned, I'm prehistoric. A lot of my boys are between like 19 to up to 21, 23, so they're a pretty young group of lads.
So young for so much responsibility here, really, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're men, they're not boys.
Haven't seen much action yet, but not hoping for too much, but be good. See a bit.
Private Jeffrey Radwell, from a family of 8 on a farm near Wagga Wagga, is the baby of the section. He's just 18 and, unlike the city he's guarding, still fresh-faced.
Joined up, never thought of this. Then a while ago they started up, didn't it? And here I am.
Are you scared?
It's there, yeah, I could get shot. But it's my job and I've got to do it.
At their corner, Guff and his men stop a pair carrying a tomahawk.
Go this way.
They're taken away for questioning, but later released, minus the potentially deadly tool. But it's the seemingly harmless finds in the rubble that haunt these soldiers.
One of the big things I know some of the guys were commenting about too was the photo albums just ripped open and just thrown everywhere, like you just sort of look at the families and the history in there, right, and you think to yourself, I wonder what's happened to that family.
Very different, very scary, and real eye-opener.
An army may march on its stomach, but it's driven by the likes of Private Stacey Toms from Perth and Private Melissa Rouge-Serret from Melbourne. They're behind the wheels of trucks, and they're proving peacekeeping is not just men's business.
I think it's important, hopefully have an influence on a lot of the females back at home, so we can do just as much as the blokes can do.
Melissa has a fiancé waiting in Townsville, but while she's in Dili, she dares not dream about her wedding or about the other things she misses, family and an icy can of cola.
You sort of don't really think about that type of stuff. If you think about it, then it'll get you down. So.
What did your mum and dad think about you coming over here?
Mum bawled, she just cried, yeah. Your dad said, yeah, good luck. I'm thinking of you.
Got any message for your parents?
I'm okay, I'll be home soon.
Peacekeeping, as our troops are discovering, is a word that can hold many meanings, many tasks.
Can you get our driver, please? Get him ready in the car.
Excuse me.
Go to the hospital, okay? All right.
Here our soldiers help a young car crash victim. In this place of few resources, a door is used as a stretcher.
That's all right, mate. You're all right, mate. You're going to the doctor now. You're going to the doctor.
For others, like Sergeant Doug Lowson, peacekeeping means taking details from locals as they offer information about militia.
Still there now or not?
I think he's
militia gone? They gone or not?
Maybe gone or I don't know, but he's commander of the Tarak in Hera.
While trying to make sense of the devastation around him.
Actually, no, it doesn't. There's no continuity in either destruction. It just seems to be random. Very random. Doesn't make sense at all.
And hundreds more of our diggers follow up on that information, scouring Dili from the air and the ground in the search for those responsible for so much heartbreak. And all the while, as Corporal Ben Caddy and Trooper Sean Patterson from the crew of a personnel carrier will tell you, they're also on the lookout for harm coming their way.
I'm getting a sore neck from looking everywhere.
but you just don't know, who's who and what's what at the moment.
And in this volatile place, the hostile reactions they receive from the few could well translate into tragedy, warns Dale McGuffin.
Nobody wants to see any young Australian go home as cargo, but, we should be prepared for that and steel ourselves for that and just, okay.
To a man and woman, our diggers are looking forward to the day when they can board an aircraft or a ship and return home. But what they want to leave behind is a secure and peaceful East Timor. So while there's the hardship, the deprivation and the danger to be faced daily, they firmly believe that what they're doing is important.
We've had
a very hard time, and I'll say if we weren't here now, then it could be a lot more of the same.
More killings?
Yep.
You see the impact that we've made on their lives, and they laugh and cheer and drive down the streets and always waving. That's probably the best part, the children's faces too.
With all the destruction that has gone on, they still walk around with a smile. Very friendly people, and I really don't know how they do it.
Timor have rescued 2,000 local people who were being menaced by pro-Jakarta militiamen. British Gurkhas fired the first shots since the Australian-led mission began. They disarmed and arrested the gunmen.
The 30-man Gurkha unit approached the town of Kom with no idea what they were about to find. Their commander first to witness a village held hostage.
Upwards of 2,000 people being held at gunpoint by a militia cell of between 10 and 12 people.
They managed to arrest 3, the others scattered. The Gurkhas opened fire, only warning shots, but the first of this peacekeeping operation, something they'd expected.
It was always going to happen.
They failed to find any of the other militiamen.
But I am pleased to report that the 2,000 plus people are now free to return to their homes.
It's estimated the captive villagers had been there at least a week. Their liberation produced an understandable reaction. This man tells of 3 friends murdered here, their bodies dragged out and dumped in this well. The Gurkha protected convoy also brought tons of food aid.